today's video, I'm going to be talking about who's the dirtier fighter. Micheal the adopter Chandler or John the abuser Jones. I'm going to be looking at 3 of their recent fights, scoring each round out of 10 for how many fouls and for the severity of the fouls. The fights I'm going to be talking about today are Jon Jones vs Anthony Smith, Jon Jones vs Dominic Reyes, Jon Jones vs DC3, Micheal Chandler vs Poirier, Micheal Chandler vs Gaethje, and Micheal Chandler Oliveira 2. Perhaps the worst fight in terms of judging and refereeing for fouls that we've seen in recent UFC history. The reason why Jon Jones fights that I'm doing aren't as recent is because his recent fights haven't been as much as a challenge, and you're more likely to foul someone when you consider them a challenge and a threat. Moving on to DC Jon Jones 1. In the first foul round there were no fouls, but Jon Jones still has his fingers out, out, stretched out, straight in DC's face the whole time, looking for that eye poke. Gave it a 1 out of 10. Round 2 there was an eye poke, 150 left in the fight. The referee did nothing. There should have at least been a warning or something. You can literally see his fingers caress his eye. It wasn't that bad of an eye poke, but still, it should have been a warning at least. That was the only foul of that round. I gave that round out 5 out of 10. In round 3, there was an eye poke at 3:40 left. Herb Dean did call a timeout, but he only gave Jon Jones a verbal warning, and there was no point taken away, even though this was a second eye poke. And you can hear Joe Rogan on the commentary saying this is a first eye poke, and he's saying, he knows this is going to happen. He's like saying it like this is a normal thing when this shouldn't be a normal thing. I gave that round a 6 out of 10. In round 4, surprisingly, there was no fouls, but still Jon Jones' fingers outstretched. He's still looking for the eye poke. It's like he's not actively looking for it, but he's just wanting it to happen. He's got his fingers outstretched, asking for it. Like, fighters shouldn't be allowed to do this in fights. There needs to be verbal warnings given it when refs are seeing this. I gave that round a 1 out of 10. In the 5th round, there were also no fouls, but still got his fingers outstretched. I also gave that a 1 out of 10. He got 14 out of 50, which isn't too bad. It's not nowhere near as bad as some of the later fights that I'm breaking down, but still, no points were taken away. At least 1 point should have been taken away, and there should have at least been 2 verbal warnings, at least. But they just let Jon Jones get away with this, and this is a championship fight. And DC was doing very well. It was 3-2, Jon Jones DC. A point would have meant something. The next fight I'm looking at is Chandler versus Gaethje. Round 1 there was no fouls, but still, just like Jon Jones, Chandler has his fingers outstretched, looking for that eye poke, just like Jon Jones. I gave that round a 1 out of 10. Round 2, there was nothing until literally 9 seconds left. He eye pokes Justin Gaethje. The ref literally calls a timeout, and Chandler also throws a late shot. So that's 2 fouls for 1. Like, there should have been a warning at least. Nothing happened. He literally didn't even give Gaethje any time to recover after the eye poke. Like, what is this? What was the ref doing? I gave that round a 9 out of 10. In round 3, the only thing that happened was Chandler grabbed the fence. Still, that's a foul. That should have been a warning. That would have been a point taken away, because he would have done 2, even 3 fouls with the late blow. But anyway, Gaethje still won, because Chandler's got no fight IQ. But Chandler got 14 out of 30 for points, which is what Jones got out of 50 in his DC fight. And Jon Jones is called a cheater. Only recently have people been talking about Chandler as being a cheater. It's been known. He's been doing it for years. He's been doing it since he came to the UFC. The next fight I'm going to break down is Jon Jones versus Anthony Smith. In round 1, nothing really happened except from at 33. You can see he's clearly trying to poke Anthony Smith in the eye. He's caressing Anthony Smith's bald head for, like, why? Why are you caressing it? It's obvious he's going for the eye poke. He just didn't get it, so I gave it a 2 out of 10 for severity that round. Round 2, there was an eye poke. It clearly went in his eye. A 107 left. It literally clearly went in his eye. Nothing happened. There was no warning. There was no nothing. Should have been a point taken away at this point. There should have been a warning, but like he's always got his fingers outstretched. There needs to be a warning straight away for this. This can't be allowed. He's literally cheating in the fight, and the refs let him get away with it. I gave that round a 4 out of 10 for severity. Round 3, there were no fouls. I gave it a 1 out of 10 for severity because he still got his fingers outstretched. Like, this just shouldn't be happening anymore in the UFC. Round 4, at 3:31, he did a soccer kick to a grounded Anthony Smith that hit him in the neck to the chest. It wasn't exactly to the head, it was to the neck and the chest, and Anthony Smith partially blocked it, so nothing was done. But then later in that round, 5 seconds left, he illegally kneed Anthony Smith while he was down. Literally, with 5 seconds left of the round, what's the point? He's winning. He's literally won every single round. What's the point of kneeing a down to Anthony Smith? Like, what is Jon Jones thinking? He isn't. He's just a bad person. Like, I can't believe this Don still has fans. Like, what is this? I gave that a 10 out of 10 for severity that round. 2 fouls. Round 5, there were no fouls. Except from there was a late flying knee, kind of, not really. Gave it a 1 out of 10. He got 18 out of 50, which is still a bit more than Chandler got in a 3-round fight. But even then, there should have been multiple warnings before even the knee to the grounded opponent. And he got 2 points taken away for that. So, fair enough. Thank you, Herb Dean. That's decent refereeing. But still, there should have been warnings before. The next fight I'm going to be breaking down is Micheal Chandler versus Dustin Poirier. At 3:56, in like literally a minute into the fight, he's clearly trying to eye poke Dustin Poirier. There should have been a warning. Like, Chandler's always, like Jon Jones, got his fingers outstretched. Even like Micheal Chandler. Like, there's loads of fighters you can just think of that have their fingers outstretched, and those are the ones that get the eye pokes. Like, Song Yadong comes out after eye poking Henry Cejudo with his fingers still outstretched. Like, that should have been a point straight away. Like, what the hell? But nothing happened. Then at 2:07, there was a headbutt. It wasn't really anyone's fault, but still, Chandler's still to blame. I gave that round a 3 out of 10 severity. Round 2, 2:42 left in the round. He literally put his fingers in his mouth. This is what Dustin Poirier was talking about in that interview recently, when he bit down on Chandler's fingers. You can hear Dustin Poirier's coaches say, his fingers in his mouth. Like, referee did nothing. Literally should have been a point taken away by now. Like, what is this refereeing? What is the UFC refereeing? 1 minute left of the fight. 7 to 8 multiple back of the headshots. 7 to 8 back of the headshots. Like, nothing happened except from like a light warning. Like, what is this? Dustin Poirier's looking like, what the fuck are the ref? What the fuck? Should have been another point. This is 2 points that should have been taken away. Like, maybe if they were taking away points, fucking Micheal Chandler won't be doing this. Do you know what I mean? Round 3, there were no fouls. Gave it 1 out of 10. Round 2, 10 out of 10. Chandler, another 14 out of 13. He's actually getting nearly half the points he can get for fouls. Like, at what point do we talk about cutting this guy from the UFC for multiple cheating in every single fight he can? Like, he's entertaining, but he's cheating in every single fight. The next fight I'm going to be breaking down is Dominic Reyes versus Jon Jones. This is probably Jon Jones' most controversial fight, because he lost. Like, if you watch the fight, I watched the fight while I was breaking it down for like the 5th, 6th time. Like, it could even be 4-1 Dominic Reyes, like, do you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Round 1, there were no fouls. Still, he's got his fingers out, just like in all the other fights. Looking for the eye poke. I gave it a 1 out of 10. Not really doing much. Round 2, no fouls. Still, he's got his fingers out, he's still got his fingers out, like, he's looking for the eye poke. There should have been a warning. There's been no fouls. There were no fouls in any of the rounds. I gave them all 1. Because he didn't do any fouls in this fight. Except from just keeping his fingers. There should have been multiple warnings, maybe a point taken away for just having his fingers outstretched. You're not allowed to do that. So he got a 5 out of 10. His lowest score. So, it's probably one of his cleaner fights, to be fair. Like, doing this made me realise John Jones might have not been as dirty a fighter as everyone makes him out to be. He's still very dirty, and obviously he's roid cheat, but he's not he's not fouling as people as much as some of these other fighters. Micheal Chandler versus Oliveira 2. Round 1, literally immediately, 30 seconds into the fight, I poked him immediately off the rip. Nothing happened. Should have at least been a warning. Like, you can see the clip now, but literally, you can see it go into his eye. Like, what is this? I poked him straight away. What is this? Should have been a warning at least. 3:28, so not basically a minute later, he grabs the fence to try to stay up. You can hear DC say on the commentary, he's grabbing the fence to stay up. Nothing happened. Should have been a point taken away at this point. Even a minute and a half into the fight should have been a point taken away, because there's already been 2 fouls. 1:05 left in the fight, grabs the fence for at least 7 seconds. Like, you can see it now. Like, what is this? What is this? Another warning at least. Like, nothing's happened, except from Keith Peterson pulling his fingers away and saying, don't put your fingers there. That's not even a warning. Like, a verbal warning, like, proper warning, and a point taken away at this point, at least. I gave it around 10-10, because he'd done at least 3 fouls in the opening round already. Round 2. Nothing happened until 23 seconds left. He grabs the fence. Should have been another point at this point. This is 4 fouls. Keith Peterson did nothing. This ref needs to be fired. What is this ref? This ref must have had a bet on Chandler. Like, literally, he must have. I gave round 2 a 4 out of 10. Because he still got the eyes, the hands out, the fingers outstretched, like John Jones, looking for that eye poke still. Can't win a fight without cheating. Didn't even win the fight with cheating. Round 3, 3:03, grabs fence again. Like, what is this? It doesn't make sense. Like, why is nothing being done for literally just active cheating in multiple fights? Like, this actually, he should be cut. He should be cut from the UFC for this behaviour. That's the only way people are going to learn. And people are going to stop doing this. And fighters are going to stop doing this. He needs to be cut. What is this? 2:10, he puts his fingers in Oliveira's gloves. He got one, but nothing happened. And you would have think, at least by now, it'd been a point. So many fouls have happened up to this point. 2 fouls in this round alone. 9 out of 10 for the round 3. Round 4, no fouls. 1 out of 10. Because he's still fingers outstretched. He is Chandler, so 1 out of 10. Round 5. Literally a minute into the round 5, eye poke. Another point that should have been taken away. Nothing was done. Eye poke. Like, the amount of fouls, like, we're talking about 7, 8, 9 fouls already in the fight, and no points have been taken away. We're talking about at least 2, 3 points should have been taken away, and then maybe he wouldn't have been doing this so late into the fight. This was a 5-round fight. Then literally 20 seconds later, multiple back of the head shots, 7, 8 back of the head shots. This should have been another point. This should have been disqualification. He should have been disqualified in round 3. But nothing happened, not even 1 point. Like, Keith Peterson, what are you doing? This ref needs to be fired immediately. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's in his own world. He doesn't care about his fighters. He wants to see them die. Like, what is this? Micheal Chandler got 33 out of 50. So this is the most points out of all of them by far, by over double. This is the most Chandler has ever cheated, and now people are only talking about this, when he should have been getting points deducted, warnings, and even disqualifications multiple fights before in the Gately and the Poirier fight for multiple times cheating and fouls. What is this? I don't know how the UFC are doing nothing about this. They need to cut Chandler now. He's worse than Jones. Somehow, someone that beat his wife and used steroids cheats less than you. Like, Chandler wants to be known as this motivational speaker type of guy. He's not. He's a cheater. He'll cheat he'll cheat every single opportunity he gets. He needs to be cut from the UFC. Someone needs to do something about this immediately by the UFC, or he's just gonna keep on doing it until he retires. I know his fights are sort of entertaining, but this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. Like, I feel bad for his kids. Like what is Micheal the adopted Chandler doing? Like, he needs to be cut. That's the only solution I can think of to sort this out.